Welcome to another episode of the Poe Underground Podcast. I am your host, D.K. Mckenzie. In today's episode, I have 6 musical poems I'd like to showcase for you. The name of this episode will be called The Guitars of Night. As you can guess from the title, we'll be showcasing the guitar and voice. Although this first piece does contain other instrumentation, aside from guitar, the main instrument driving it is the guitar. And before we launch into that, I want to read a poem from one of my favorite poets, Federico Garcia Lorca. And we have not featured his work on this podcast as of yet, until now, although I am just reading the poem with no music. Regarding the guitar, the name of this poem is called The 6 Strings. The guitar makes dreams cry. The crying of lost souls escapes from its round mouth, and like the tarantula, it weaves a huge star to catch sighs that float on its black wooden tank. And without further ado, let's launch into this first piece, which I call The Gears of Night, which is a suite of 6 poems that I wrote. And here it is. Night of saws, days of noise, mornings of wrongs, evenings of rights, weeks of calm, months of blame, years of heartache, decades of shame, lifetime of wandering, death time of answers found, I hope, I pray. The house falls into darkness and disarray. In the eventide, we cast the shadows out of ourselves. Outsiders have no clue to our darkly nocturnal habits and patterns. We lay down in blackness to come back to light. Houses bathed in sunlight, shadows rest till dusk. Night falls and disassembles the known world below. The agony in the soul weeps in the dark. The night becomes and I am disassembled into parts and pieces of what I really am. Some people get swallowed by the night. Others dive into the black tarry bubble, jamming themselves in the middle of the mechanics. The night returns guitar notes that sing. In the evening, the cravings come hard for the people. Desires creep in, inserting their demands, persistencies, and pestering. And the night is when the hunger gets louder. Everything becomes more apparent when the sun is absent. Every craving is an attempt to fill a void, and giving in is so easy on these hard midnight streets. And the next 5 pieces you'll be hearing come from another podcast I had produced called 6 String Poetry for Warwick Radio, which is a library podcast from a library in Rhode Island. The recording engineer, his name is Will Gregerson, and he's an engineer and librarian. And we had recorded these guitar parts live in the studio at the library. And the next 2 pieces you'll be hearing were completely improvised in the studio, which was probably not a great idea, but this was an experiment, so I wanted to go into the library, into the studio, and not know what I was going to play, which actually worked out very well, but, maybe for my engineer here, Will, probably didn't appreciate, I'm not sure, the fiddling around, which took a while, but here is the result, and this first piece is called Slow Rhythms. It is by a poet named Rudolph Edward Kornmann. How shall I sleep in this liquid of moonlight, still and death steep? You were breath and delight, and the moods of your eyes were of slumber and fondness. How shall I sleep, remembering your curvedness, stars at your breasts, the moons of your thighs? How shall I sleep, with the sighs of your fingertips haunting my lips? How shall I sleep in this liquid of moonlight, still and death steep? You were gentle and white, and the sound of your blood is that breath which will wander in thin, broken twilights of houses asleep, old houses that drowse with the pain of their wonder at that which lies under them, graven and deep. And this liquid of moonlight, how shall I sleep? All right, and this next piece is called Ether Darkness. It is by another obscure poet named James A.S. McPeek. Could not find any information on this poet, do not know what country he originates from, but the poem is beautiful, as the next piece is as well, and this was also recorded at the library, completely improvised, and I hope you enjoy this piece. This dark is beautiful. There is no pain. No sense is challenged by unmeaning sight. Only the thick, cool blanket of the night presses the body and its fevered brain. Time is sewed quietly by needles of rain. There is no way to mark this moment's flight that has no touch with any common light, nor so much color as all day has lain, hidden within a shadowed jonquil bloom, and in this quietude of nothingness. There is no sound, no dreaming, no distress. The darkness flowers to the edge of doom. And this next piece is called Remembrance. It is by an English novelist, poet, short story writer named Walter de la Mare, who actually is not obscure and is well known in certain circles. If I remember correctly, we had recorded this live in one take in the studio, but I think I had a sketch of something to play, so it wasn't 100% improvised as the last two pieces were. And without further ado, let's launch into it. The sky was like a water drop in shadow of a thorn, clear, tranquil, beautiful, dark, forlorn. Lightning along its margin ran. A rumor of the sea rose in profundity and sank into infinity. Lofty and few, the elms, the stars, and the vast boughs most bright. I stood a dreamer in a dream in the unstirring night. Not wonder, worship, not even peace seemed in my heart to be. Only the memory of one, of all most dead to me. And this next piece is called Encounter. It is by an American poet named Chase Boyden, and in the last two podcasts, we featured her work, and I actually made a mistake and called her Boyd, but it's Boyden. So this is the first time in this podcast where we feature a poet 3 times in a row. And what can I say? Her stuff is that good. So without further ado, let's launch into Encounter, and I hope you enjoy it. You move along the avenue like one, alone, exultant among mountain snows. And through your hair the wind of morning blows. And in your eyes is quenched the flaming sun. I did not run the race, that you have run. I do not care what pride your triumph knows. You would not understand the dreams of those from whom the thirst for victory is gone. The surging crowds efface you as the tide obliterates a footprint on a shore. So sands are sucked by time. You are no more than the blurred trace of emptiness defied. When you have passed, cool spaces cover me like the unchallenged waters of the sea.
And this last piece is called Luscious Beach. It is one of my own works, and it maybe doesn't fit into the motif of night, but it does hint at the coming of night, I suppose. And without further ado, let's launch into that one.
Luscious beach with a naked moon, breaking through the blue, seagulls walk and run. Remind me of myself, somehow. Maybe it's all the wandering and exploring they do. Everyone's looking for something, some often, some seldom, some all the time. That's me. I think I'll drive off into the sunset now, like a free bird, flying into the sun's last act.
And that is it for today's episode of the Poe Underground Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I also want to make a small disclaimer here and promise to listeners, the Poe Underground will not be using AI music to marry poetry and music, ever. However, in last week's episode, I did use AI music for the introduction song, which was supposed to be like a Russian military choral thing, which I could not do on my own. Not very easily anyway. I thought it would be a good thing to sprinkle into the podcast, and yes, it took a matter of minutes to come up with that stuff, so I thought it was interesting and I thought it was funny, but I never want to use AI music in this podcast, and that'll be a promise. We're going to keep things real and organic, and that's what the Poe Underground should be. This is D.K. Mckenzie signing off. Please feel free to reach out through social media. If you have any questions, please log on to the poeunderground.com and drop us a comment or email, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care.